Number 1. The country that speaks the most Spanish, but has no official language? Alright, buckle up, language lovers, because what I just stumbled upon blew my mind, and I know it's going to blow yours too. You know how we've been on this epic journey exploring the linguistic landscapes of the world, from the French finesse of Canada to the vibrant tongues of India? Well, today, we're taking a trip to a place that's a true enigma, a linguistic paradox wrapped in a tortilla. Get this, we're talking about the country that boasts the most Spanish speakers on Earth. I mean, a whopping 25% of all global Spanish speakers call this place home. You'd think, without a shadow of a doubt, that Spanish would be its official language, right? Wrong. And that, my friends, is where the intrigue begins. Picture this with me. I was chatting with my friend Maria. Maria grew up in Oaxaca, Mexico, a place teeming with vibrant culture and ancient traditions. She told me how her grandmother, a proud Zapotec woman, spoke almost no Spanish. Her world, her stories, her very essence, were woven in the intricate threads of Zapotec. Maria, growing up, navigated both worlds, the Spanish spoken in schools and the indigenous language of her home. It wasn't just about translation, it was about understanding two entirely different ways of seeing the world. This isn't some isolated incident, it's the beautiful, complex reality for millions. Because here's the kicker, the mind-blowing fact that sets Mexico apart. While it's officially known as Estados Unidos Mexicanos, a federal republic eerily similar to the United States with its 31 autonomous states and a capital, its constitution recognizes no official language. Instead, it legally recognizes 68 indigenous languages. And if you factor in all the dialects, that number practically hits 200. Can you even imagine that linguistic richness? It's a tapestry of voices, a symphony of cultures. Now, why does this matter? Beyond the sheer coolness of it, there are real-world consequences. Think about access to education, healthcare, legal services. Imagine trying to navigate a hospital when your language isn't understood. This constitutional recognition, while unique, presents both incredible opportunities for preservation and significant challenges for integration. It's a delicate balance, ensuring that these invaluable indigenous languages aren't just surviving, but thriving. This isn't just a fun fact, it's a testament to the incredible diversity of human expression. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What does official even mean in a country with such a rich linguistic heritage? Before you go anywhere, I've got another twist coming up that dives even deeper into the implications of this linguistic landscape, especially concerning modern technology and communication. You won't want to miss it. But first, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on a country with no official language, despite being a global linguistic powerhouse? Have you ever encountered a similar situation? Drop your comments below, let's get this conversation going. And if you're enjoying this linguistic adventure, please smash that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending facts. Your engagement helps us keep bringing you these incredible stories. Stay tuned, because the next segment is going to blow your mind even further. Number 2, Mexican women, icons of beauty and power. I don't know about you, but whenever I picture a Mexican woman, an image of strength, beauty, and undeniable charisma instantly comes to mind. We're talking about that striking blend of indigenous and European features, those bold, expressive eyes, that rich, honey-brown skin, and an energy that just radiates confidence. It's no wonder they've captivated the world. But here's the thing, and it's a big thing, Mexican women are so much more than just their stunning looks. Let me tell you about Sofia. I met Sofia during a trip to Mexico City a few years ago. She ran a small, bustling art gallery, and her passion was infectious. She told me how her grandmother, a quiet but incredibly determined woman, had fought tooth and nail to ensure her daughters received an education, something many women in her generation weren't afforded. Sofia carried that legacy with fierce pride. She wasn't just selling art, she was building a community, creating a space for female artists to thrive. She embodied that quiet strength, that unwavering resolve that I now understand is so deeply ingrained in Mexican women. And get this, friends, for a hard fact that just dropped and is making headlines globally. As of 2024, Mexico elected its very first female president. Let that sink in for a moment. This isn't just a symbolic victory, it's a monumental step forward for gender equality on a global scale. We're talking about a nation that is rapidly charging toward equal representation, with over 48% female representation in Congress. That's nearly half. This isn't just about breaking glass ceilings, it's about fundamentally reshaping the political landscape and ensuring women's voices are heard at the highest levels. But wait, there's a fun fact that truly speaks volumes about the modern Mexican woman. Did you know that in Mexico City, over 65% of women would rather stay single than settle down? Yes, you heard that right. This isn't about being anti-relationship, it's about knowing their worth, prioritizing their independence, and choosing paths that truly fulfill them. These ladies know exactly what they want, and they are not afraid to pursue it, whether it's a career, personal growth, or just living life on their own terms. It reflects a growing global trend, but to see it so powerfully articulated in such a vibrant culture is truly inspiring. Think about the real-world consequences of this shift: increased economic empowerment for women, better policies reflecting female perspectives on issues like healthcare and education, and a powerful ripple effect for future generations. This isn't just a win for Mexico, it's a win for women everywhere. We've seen how Canada is embracing diversity and how India's women are making strides in technology. Mexico is a powerful example of a country that, while facing its own challenges, is making incredible leaps in female empowerment. Now, I want to hear from you. What does this news about Mexican women mean to you? How do you see these trends impacting society? And honestly, if you're out there building your own empire, choosing yourself, and defining your own happiness, drop a 2 in the comments if you're tired of going along with expectations and are ready to face the kind of self-discovery that truly empowers you. Number 3. Mexico City is sinking fast. Okay, settle in, because this next fact about Mexico City isn't just fascinating, it's a little unnerving. We've talked about the vibrant languages and the powerful women shaping Mexico, but there's a silent, unseen drama playing out beneath the very foundations of its bustling capital. And once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. Imagine, if you can, a city of 22 million people, a metropolis vibrant with culture, history, and life, slowly, inexorably sinking. Not like a leaky boat, but like the ground itself is giving way. That's not some dystopian sci-fi movie, that's Mexico City right now. I remember the first time I heard about this. It was from my cousin Leo, who lives in a historic neighborhood in Mexico City. He'd always joke about how his old apartment building felt a little off-kilter. He'd say, "It's got character." But then one day, he showed me how the cracks in the walls were getting wider, how his doors no longer quite shut right. He shrugged it off as old building quirks, but there was a flicker of something in his eyes, a subtle worry. It's hard to ignore when you see centuries-old cathedrals visibly tilting, or entire neighborhoods experiencing uneven settlement. Here's the hard truth, the scientific reality. Mexico City was built on what was once Lake Texcoco, a vast, ancient lakebed. The Spanish conquistadors drained much of it centuries ago to make way for their grand new city. But that lakebed, rich in clay and highly saturated, is now compacting. The main culprit? Over-extraction of groundwater. Think of the ground beneath Mexico City like a giant, sodden sponge. As water is pumped out to supply the city's enormous population, that sponge dries out and compresses under the immense weight of concrete and steel. And the rate at which this is happening is staggering. Recent studies, some using satellite radar data from 2011 to 2020, show that parts of Mexico City are sinking by as much as 50 centimeters, nearly 20 inches, a year. This isn't uniform. Some areas are more stable, often those built on solid volcanic rock, while others are collapsing at alarming rates. This creates what scientists call differential subsidence, where one part of a building or a road sinks faster than another, leading to severe structural damage. We've seen this play out with things like the city's metro system, where tracks deform and even overpasses have tragically collapsed. Experts warn that at this alarming rate, the city could drop 30 more meters, nearly 100 feet, in the next 150 years. It's not just historical buildings at risk, it's critical infrastructure, water pipes, sewage systems, electrical grids, all being strained and damaged. The consequences are terrifying: increased flooding, compromised water supply, and a constant costly battle to maintain basic services for 22 million people. Imagine the humanitarian crisis if this accelerates or a major earthquake hits a severely compromised area. This isn't just a local issue, it's a stark reminder of how urban development, resource management, and natural geology intertwine. It makes you think about how our actions today can have profound, long-term real-world consequences. We've talked about how ingenious the Aztecs were in managing their water on the lake, creating floating gardens and complex systems. The Spanish, in contrast, sought to conquer nature rather than work with it, and we are seeing the legacy of those decisions today. What do you think about this? How should a city with such a deep historical and cultural roots address a challenge of this magnitude? Is it a lost cause, or can engineering and sustainable practices truly make a difference? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We need to keep these conversations going. And before you click away, I've got one more mind-boggling fact about Mexico's innovative, albeit challenging, solutions to this very problem. You absolutely won't want to miss what they're trying to do. So, let's keep learning and discussing these crucial global issues together. Number 4. The Mexico that once outweighed the US. Alright, history buffs and truth seekers, gather round. We've journeyed through Mexico's languages, celebrated its powerful women, and even peered into the unsettling reality of its sinking capital. Today we're taking a deep dive into a part of Mexico's past that's both fascinating and, frankly, a bit heartbreaking. Prepare to have your mind blown, because this is a story that reshapes everything you thought you knew about the map of North America. Imagine this, a time when Mexico was not just big, but enormous. I'm talking about a Mexico that once outweighed the United States in sheer landmass. Sounds wild, right? But it's 100% true. I remember my history teacher back in high school, Mr. Ramirez, a man with a passion for untold stories. He'd pause dramatically before dropping historical bombshells. One day, he put up a map of North America and started circling. "Class," he began, "did you know that not so long ago, Mexico owned not just its current territory, but also what we now call California, Texas, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, and parts of 7 more states?" My jaw practically hit the floor. He drew an outline, and it was immense. It felt like uncovering a secret chapter of a book I thought I knew inside out. Here's the hard fact that will completely reframe your understanding of the continent. Post-independence from Spain in 1821, Mexico was a vast republic, stretching from Oregon country all the way down to Central America. Its territory included what is now the American Southwest and West Coast. Fast forward a few decades, and the narrative changes dramatically. After a tumultuous period, including the Texas Revolution and the Mexican-American War, 1846 to 1848, Mexico suffered immense losses. The war concluded with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848. This single treaty, following the war, resulted in Mexico ceding over half its land, a staggering amount, to the United States. And then, a few years later, the Gadsden Purchase in 1854 solidified the current border. Think about the sheer scale of that loss. It's like half of your house just disappearing. This wasn't just a geographical change, it had profound real-world consequences that echo to this day. It impacted indigenous populations, Mexican citizens living in those territories who suddenly found themselves in a new country, and it fundamentally shaped the cultural and economic development of both nations. And here's the ironic twist, the real ouch factor: the United States, a nation that had so recently fought for and gained its own independence from colonial rule, a beacon of freedom that inspired Mexico's own struggle, later became the power that dramatically reduced Mexico's territory. It's a complex and often painful part of both countries' shared history. This historical context helps us understand so much about the relationship between Mexico and the US today, from immigration patterns to cultural ties that transcend borders. It's a powerful reminder that national narratives are rarely simple. What are your thoughts on this monumental shift in territory? Does it change your perspective on US-Mexico relations? How do you think this historical event continues to influence the region? Drop your comments below and let's get a conversation going. Number 5. Culture shocks you'll never forget. Now let's talk about something that truly makes travel and cultural immersion so utterly fascinating: the glorious, sometimes awkward, and always memorable culture shocks. If you've ever traveled, you know that feeling, right? That moment when something completely normal to you is utterly bizarre in another country, or vice versa. Mexico, with its vibrant traditions and unique customs, is a goldmine for these moments. And trust me, some of them are hilarious, others, well, they'll make you think twice. I remember my first trip to Mexico City. I was meeting a friend, Javier, for dinner. Being the punctual person I am, I arrived exactly on time. Javier, however, was nowhere in sight. 10 minutes passed, then 20, then 30. I started getting that anxious feeling, pulling out my phone to text him, wondering if I'd messed up the meeting place. Just as I was about to give up, he strolled in, cool as a cucumber, about 45 minutes late, flashing his charming smile. He genuinely didn't understand my subtle panic. He just said, "Oh, you're early." Perfect. It was my first real taste of Mexican time, and it was a revelation. It taught me to breathe, relax, and embrace a more flexible rhythm of life. Here's a hard fact about Mexican culture that might surprise you. In Mexico, especially among the older generation, whistling at strangers, yes, whistling, can actually be considered a form of flirtation or a gallant gesture. Now, for many of us, that's a surefire way to get a glare or worse, right? So while it's fascinating to know, take our advice. Unless you're absolutely sure of the context and the person, don't try it. It's a classic example of how gestures and their meanings can vary wildly across cultures. But let's get to the most iconic, and perhaps for some, the most challenging culture shock: the food. You might have heard whispers, but allow me to confirm, don't scream if you're served fried grasshoppers, chapulines, or ant eggs, Eskimos. Seriously. These aren't just novelty items. They are traditional Mexican delicacies with roots stretching back to pre-Hispanic times. And get this, in a massive culinary shift reflecting both tradition and modernity, insects are not just street food. They are now making their way into high-end gourmet menus in some of Mexico's most prestigious restaurants. This isn't just about survival, it's about flavor, sustainability, and celebrating a rich culinary heritage. The crunch of chapulines, the buttery texture of Eskimos, it's an experience. These cultural differences aren't just quirky facts, they have real-world consequences. They influence social interactions, business dealings, and even how daily life is experienced. Understanding them fosters respect and avoids misunderstandings. It's about appreciating the beautiful mosaic of human traditions. Think back to our discussions about Japan's punctuality or India's diverse dietary customs. Every country offers its unique blend of social norms, and Mexico's are as rich and flavorful as its cuisine. What's the biggest culture shock you've ever experienced while traveling? Or what Mexican cultural quirk fascinates you the most? Drop your stories and thoughts in the comments below. Let's learn from each other's adventures. Number 6. The largest pyramid on Earth? It's in Mexico. When you think of the world's largest pyramids, what's the first image that pops into your head? For 99% of us, it's the towering, majestic pyramids of Egypt, right? The Great Pyramid of Giza, standing proud for millennia, is the undisputed king in our collective consciousness. Well, get ready to have that image completely redefined, because the truth is far more intriguing and surprisingly, it's hidden in plain sight in Mexico. I remember watching a documentary about ancient civilizations with my younger cousin, Maya. She was convinced Egypt held all the secrets. No one could build bigger than the Egyptians, she declared with all the confidence of a 10-year-old. I smiled, knowing the secret I was about to drop. What if I told you, Maya, I said, that the largest pyramid on Earth isn't in Egypt at all, but right here in North America, in a place called Mexico? Her jaw dropped. That's the power of this fact. Here's the hard fact that will astound you. The Great Pyramid of Cholula, located in the state of Puebla, Mexico, holds the undisputed title for the largest pyramid by volume on the planet. We're talking a staggering 4.5 million cubic meters of material. To put that in perspective, it's nearly double the volume of the Great Pyramid of Giza. But here's the kicker, the truly mind-boggling part. This ancient Olmec, and later Toltec and Aztec marvel is practically invisible. Why? Because it's been covered over by earth and vegetation for centuries, looking more like a massive natural hill than a man-made wonder. And as a final touch of historical irony, perched right on its very top, stands a beautiful Spanish colonial church, the Iglesia de Nuestra Señora de los Remedios. It's a symbolic testament to the layers of history and conquest that define Mexico. Imagine the sheer scale of the engineering and human effort that went into building something so monumental, only for it to be swallowed by time and nature, silently dwarfing its more famous Egyptian cousins. This isn't just an archaeological curiosity, it represents a profound real-world consequence of history and cultural layering. The Spanish, unaware of the massive structure beneath, built their church, unwittingly preserving what lay beneath. This fact fundamentally alters our understanding of ancient civilizations and their capabilities. It highlights the immense achievements of Mesoamerican cultures, often overshadowed by those of the Old World. It's a powerful reminder that history is full of untold stories and hidden wonders, waiting to be discovered. Think about how this challenges our Eurocentric views of ancient wonders. Just as we've seen Mexico's rich linguistic tapestry and its powerful women reshaping the future, this pyramid reminds us of its equally profound historical depth. What does this discovery mean to you? Does it change your perception of ancient American civilizations? Have you ever visited Cholula and seen this incredible sight? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Let's discuss this truly monumental piece of history. And if you're as amazed by this revelation as I am, please smash that like button right now and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us uncover more of these incredible global secrets and share them with you. Number 7. Living near fire, Popocatépetl, the beast volcano. We're going to talk about a force of nature that looms large over millions of lives, a constant rumbling reminder of Earth's raw power, just a stone's throw from one of the world's largest cities. Imagine waking up to a fine dusting of ash on your car, or seeing a plume of smoke constantly rising from a snow-capped peak in the distance. For millions in Mexico, this isn't an abstract concept, it's daily life. We're talking about Popocatépetl, affectionately, or perhaps apprehensively, nicknamed El Popo, the Smoking Mountain. I was talking to my friend Carlos, who lives in one of the towns in the shadow of El Popo. He told me about growing up with a volcano as a backdrop, majestic, yet always present. He recounted stories from his grandparents about the good old days, when Popo was mostly quiet. But in recent decades, El Popo has become far more active. Carlos remembers the schools practicing evacuation drills, the constant updates on local news channels, and the strange mixture of reverence and unease everyone feels towards the mountain. It's a part of life, but it's a life lived on the edge. Here's the hard fact that truly brings home the intensity of this situation. Popocatépetl is less than 70 kilometers, about 43 miles, from Mexico City itself. And here's the kicker, over 25 million people live within its immediate danger zone. That makes it one of the most closely monitored volcanoes in the world. Its activity isn't just a geological blip, it has massive real-world consequences. We saw a stark example of this recently. In May 2023, a period of heightened activity saw El Popo constantly spewing ash, gas, and even incandescent material. This wasn't a minor event, it was significant enough to ground flights at Mexico City and Puebla airports, disrupting thousands of travelers. Even more critically, it sent over 40,000 people fleeing their homes in nearby towns as the alert level was raised. Imagine the chaos, the fear, the logistics of moving that many lives on short notice. And even when ash isn't causing evacuations, it impacts air quality, infrastructure, and daily life. Volcanic ash, composed of tiny glass and rock fragments, can cause respiratory issues, damage car engines, and make everything incredibly gritty. And speaking of volcanic oddities, here's a fun fact that will completely flip your perception of volcanoes. Right nearby in Puebla, you'll also find the world's smallest volcano, Cuescamate. It stands at a mere 13 meters, 43 feet tall. It's technically an inactive geyser, a geological curiosity formed by the activity of its much larger neighbor, but it's affectionately known as the smallest volcano, and you can even go inside its crater. It's a striking contrast to the behemoth that is Popocatépetl. This constant dance with a powerful, active volcano highlights Mexico's unique geographical challenges and the incredible resilience of its people. It's a reminder that even in modern times, nature dictates so much of human experience, demanding respect and preparedness. Compared to other countries we've discussed, Mexico faces a direct, ongoing natural threat on a scale that impacts millions. How do you think living with such a constant, unpredictable force affects daily life, culture, and even people's outlook? What measures do you think authorities should prioritize to protect such a massive population? Drop your thoughts and perspectives in the comments below. Let's get this discussion going. Number 8. Mexico, birthplace of chocolate. Alright, chocolate lovers, prepare to have your minds, and your taste buds, absolutely blown. Forget everything you think you know about chocolate. Ditch the milk chocolate bars, the fancy truffles, and the sweet confections. Because the true story of chocolate begins not in Swiss factories or Belgian patisseries, but thousands of years ago, right here in ancient Mexico. I remember my grandmother, a fantastic baker, always had a stash of rich, dark chocolate for her famous mole sauce. She told me stories about how chocolate wasn't always sweet, how it was a drink of kings and warriors. I'd nod, vaguely picturing ancient rituals, but never truly grasping the depth of its significance until I started researching for this very episode. The reality is far more fascinating, and frankly, a little wild. Here's the hard fact that will completely change your perception of this beloved treat. Long before cocoa became the sugary delight we know today, the ancient Olmecs, Maya, and Aztecs of Mesoamerica were cultivating and consuming chocolate. But it wasn't a sweet candy, it was a potent, often bitter, and highly revered drink. And get this, it was frequently spiced with chili and, believe it or not, sometimes even blood. Yes, you heard that right, blood. This was no dessert, this was a powerful ritualistic concoction. For these ancient civilizations, cacao was more than just a plant, it was sacred. It was interwoven into the very fabric of their societies, playing multiple crucial roles. Rituals. Cacao was used in religious ceremonies, offerings to gods, and rites of passage. Currency. Cacao beans were so valuable, they served as a form of currency, used to purchase goods and services. Imagine paying for your groceries with chocolate. War preparation. The Aztecs believed it had invigorating properties. Legend has it that the great Aztec emperor, Montezuma himself, reportedly drank up to 50 cups a day before heading into battle, or to his harem. Talk about an energy drink. Think about the real-world consequences of this history. The Spanish conquistadors, upon arriving in Mexico, were introduced to this bitter drink. They eventually brought cacao back to Europe, where it was transformed over centuries into the sweetened solid chocolate we devour today. This journey of chocolate from a sacred savory, often bloody beverage to a global sweet sensation is a testament to cultural exchange and adaptation. It also highlights the vast, untapped knowledge and incredible innovations of ancient civilizations. This Mexican origin story of chocolate reminds us that what we consider normal is often a product of centuries of evolution and cultural fusion. It's a truly delicious example of Mexico's profound influence on the world, a legacy that started thousands of years ago. What do you think about chocolate's surprising origins? Does knowing it was once spiced with chili and even blood change how you view it? Have you ever tried savory or spicy chocolate? Drop your thoughts and culinary adventures in the comments below. Let's get this delicious discussion brewing. Number 9. Coca-Cola capital of the world. Alright everyone, lean in, because this next fact about Mexico is going to blow your mind and frankly, might make you rethink your next fizzy drink. When I first heard this, I actually had to double-check the numbers. I thought, no way, that can't be right. But it is. We're talking about Mexico and its seemingly insatiable thirst for a very specific, globally recognized beverage. Imagine a world where your daily hydration, your social gatherings, and even your spiritual practices revolved around one single sugary drink. It sounds extreme, almost fictional. But for millions in Mexico, this is a stark, everyday reality. Here's the hard fact that will stun you. On average, Mexicans drink an astonishing 160 to 225 liters of Coca-Cola per person annually. To put that into perspective, the average American drinks around 200 liters of soft drinks total per year, but this Mexican figure is specifically for Coca-Cola alone. It's a staggering consumption rate. But wait, it gets even more intense. In the southern state of Chiapas, home to many indigenous communities and a region we've touched upon before with its rich linguistic diversity, the numbers are absolutely jaw-dropping, a reported 821 liters per person annually. That's nearly 30 times more than the average US consumption of all soft drinks. Let that sink in. Almost a liter of Coca-Cola every single day for every man, woman, and child. It's truly a staggering amount. So, why on earth is this happening? The reasons are a complex and heartbreaking mix of economics, infrastructure, and even cultural adaptation. In many rural areas of Mexico, particularly in states like Chiapas, access to clean, potable drinking water is severely limited. While national averages for water access are improving, around 86% currently, many rural communities still struggle. What's the consequence? Bottled water often costs more than a liter of Coca-Cola due to distribution networks, taxes, and pricing strategies. It sounds insane, but in a small village, a cold Coke is often cheaper and perceived as safer than the local tap water, which might be contaminated or simply unavailable. For a family struggling to make ends meet, the choice becomes grimly simple. And here's where it gets even more intriguing, and perhaps unsettling. In some indigenous communities, Coca-Cola has even been integrated into religious ceremonies. It's used as an offering, or in rituals to cleanse the soul, often replacing traditional alcoholic beverages. The carbonation, which causes burping, is sometimes believed to release evil spirits or cleanse the body. This isn't just about marketing, it's about a dominant product filling a void, not just physically, but spiritually. But the real-world consequences of this staggering consumption are dire and represent a profound public health crisis. Mexico now faces alarming rates of obesity and type 2 diabetes. In Chiapas, diabetes mortality rates have soared, and there are heartbreaking reports of infants being given Coca-Cola instead of milk. This isn't just a national problem, it's a global issue, as developing nations are increasingly targeted by soft drink corporations, leading to massive health burdens. The financial strain on Mexico's healthcare system from diabetes-related illnesses is immense, costing billions annually. This shocking reality forces us to confront the ethical implications of corporate influence, inadequate infrastructure, and the unintended consequences of consumer choices. It's a powerful testament to how deeply intertwined economic accessibility, health, and cultural practices can become. Think about how this contrasts with our earlier discussion about the origins of chocolate, a sacred, powerful drink. Now, another beverage has taken on a near-sacred, yet destructive role. What are your thoughts on this complex situation? What responsibilities do governments, corporations, and international organizations have in addressing this crisis? And how can we support communities struggling with limited access to clean water? Drop your comments and insights below. Let's ignite a crucial conversation about this profound challenge. Number 10. Mexican minds changed the world. When we talk about global innovation, our minds often jump to Silicon Valley, or perhaps European tech hubs. But prepare to be amazed, because Mexico has quietly yet profoundly contributed to two inventions that utterly revolutionized daily life and human society on a global scale. These aren't just minor improvements, these are game changers. I remember a conversation with my uncle, an engineer who always had a passion for forgotten inventors. He'd tell me stories about how brilliant minds often work in the shadows, their contributions shaping our world in ways we rarely acknowledge. He once posed a riddle: what two inventions, one letting you see the world in vivid hues, and the other giving you control over your own destiny, both came from Mexico? I was stumped. The answer, when he revealed it, was breathtaking. Here's the hard fact that will completely reframe your understanding of global innovation. First up, something we all take for granted every single day: color TV. We flick on our screens, immerse ourselves in vibrant images, and never give a second thought to how those colors get there. But the technology that made it possible? It was invented in 1940 by a brilliant Mexican engineer named Guillermo González Camarena. At just 23 years old, he patented his chromoscopic adapter for television equipment, essentially a color wheel system that allowed black and white cameras to capture and transmit images in vivid color. Think about the sheer genius of a young man in Mexico, pioneering a technology that would define entertainment, news, and communication for decades. And get this, his groundbreaking technology was so robust that NASA actually used a version of his system in 1979 to beam images of Earth from space, and even from Jupiter during the Voyager mission. Imagine, Mexican innovation helping us see our own planet and distant worlds in color. But that's just one half of the story. The other invention is arguably even more transformative, impacting billions of lives, particularly women, across the globe: the birth control pill. In 1951, Luis Miramontes, a Mexican chemist working at the Syntex laboratory in Mexico City, synthesized norethindrone. This was the world's first orally effective progestin, the active ingredient that made the oral contraceptive possible. This wasn't just a medical breakthrough, it was a societal earthquake. The birth control pill gave women unprecedented control over their reproductive health, profoundly impacting education, careers, family planning, and gender equality worldwide. It literally changed the game for women's liberation and family dynamics on every continent. These two inventions, born from Mexican minds, are incredible examples of how scientific and technological advancements can ripple outwards, creating massive real-world consequences that shape cultures, economies, and individual lives. They stand as a powerful testament to Mexico's often underestimated contributions to global progress. Compared to our discussions about other nations, these facts highlight Mexico's role not just as a recipient or adapter of global trends, but as a genuine originator of world-altering technology. What do these inventions mean to you? Did you know they came from Mexico? How have color TV and the birth control pill impacted your life, or the lives of those around you? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. Let's celebrate these incredible contributions and the brilliant minds behind them. Before we go any further, I want to promise you one thing: we are just scratching the surface of incredible facts and stories from around the world. We'll keep bringing you these deep dives into countries you thought you knew, revealing the hidden gems and groundbreaking insights. So if you've been fascinated by Mexico's untold stories, please smash that like button and subscribe. Number 11. Chichen Itza, Stone Calendar of the Gods. When you think of ancient wonders, your mind probably conjures up images of the pyramids of Giza, the Colosseum, or perhaps the Great Wall. But what if I told you there's a structure in Mexico that embodies astronomical precision and architectural brilliance on a scale that will make your jaw drop? I remember a conversation I had with an astrophysicist once, a brilliant woman named Dr. Anya Sharma. She was telling me about how ancient cultures, without any modern technology, often possessed an understanding of the cosmos that rivals our own. She cited the Maya as prime examples, mentioning how they tracked celestial movements with incredible accuracy. I listened, fascinated, but it wasn't until she described one particular structure that I truly understood the depth of their genius. Here's the hard fact that will change your perception of ancient civilizations. In the heart of the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, stands Chichen Itza, an ancient city built by the Maya. At its center is the magnificent pyramid, El Castillo, also known as the Temple of Kukulkan. But this is no ordinary pyramid, it's a colossal stone calendar, a cosmic clock meticulously aligned with the movements of the sun. How so? Each of the pyramid's 4 sides has 91 steps. When you add those 91 steps on all 4 sides, 91 times 4 is equal to 364, plus the single step at the very top leading to the temple platform, you get a grand total of 365 steps. Yes, you read that right, 365 steps, each representing a day of the year in the Maya solar calendar. This isn't just a coincidence, it's an intentional, breathtaking display of mathematical and astronomical mastery. But the real magic, the true mind-blown moment, happens twice a year. On the spring and autumn equinoxes, around March 20th to 21st and September 22nd to 23rd respectively, as the sun climbs or descends, a spectacular phenomenon unfolds. The precise angles of the pyramid's terraces and steps interact with the sunlight to create a series of triangular shadows that move down the northern staircase. This shadow effect creates the stunning illusion of a serpent slithering down the pyramid, eventually connecting with the carved serpent heads at the base of the stairs. This isn't just a shadow, it's the symbolic descent of Kukulkan, the feathered serpent god, a pivotal deity in Maya cosmology, representing renewal, wisdom, and the connection between the heavens and the earth. And here's the truly astonishing part. All of this, the precise calendrical alignment, the stunning light and shadow serpent, was calculated and constructed by the Maya without metal tools or telescopes. They used intricate astronomical observations, sophisticated mathematical systems, including the concept of zero, long before it reached Europe, and unparalleled stoneworking skills to create this masterpiece. Imagine the collective knowledge, the generations of observation, and the meticulous planning required for such an engineering feat. The real-world consequences of this ancient wisdom are profound. It showcases a civilization deeply attuned to its environment and the cosmos, using this understanding not just for religious ceremonies but also for practical purposes like agricultural planning. It challenges our modern assumptions about primitive cultures and reminds us of the incredible intellectual achievements that existed centuries ago. It's a testament to human ingenuity when driven by profound spiritual and practical needs. Think about how this contrasts with our earlier discussion about Mexico City sinking, a consequence of modern over-extraction. Here, we see ancient ingenuity working with nature, not against it. What does this incredible feat of ancient engineering make you feel? Have you ever witnessed the serpent shadow at Chichen Itza? What other ancient mysteries fascinate you? Drop your thoughts and wonderings in the comments below. Let's delve into the marvels of human history together. And if you're as captivated by the genius of the Maya as I am, please smash that like button and subscribe. Number 12. Top places to visit in Mexico. You know that feeling when you scroll through travel photos online and you just ache to be there? That's Mexico for me, in so many different ways. It's not just one type of paradise, it's a whole mosaic of breathtaking landscapes and vibrant experiences, each one calling your name. I remember my friend, Sarah, who's usually an all-inclusive resort kind of traveler. She finally decided to venture beyond the typical tourist spots in Mexico and visited San Miguel de Allende. She called me, absolutely gushing. "It's like stepping into a painting," she exclaimed. "Every cobblestone street, every colorful building, every art gallery, it's just magical." Her experience completely changed her perception of Mexico, proving there's so much more than just beaches, though those are pretty spectacular too. Here's the hard fact about Mexico's tourism appeal. It consistently ranks among the top visited countries in the world, drawing tens of millions of international tourists annually. And for good reason. Its diverse offerings cater to every kind of traveler. Let's talk about some of these absolute must-visit gems. Cancun, turquoise beaches and underwater wonders. If you crave that quintessential Caribbean paradise, Cancun is it. Imagine sinking your toes into powder-soft, white sand, gazing out at water so impossibly turquoise it looks photoshopped. But Cancun is more than just stunning beaches and a vibrant nightlife, perfect for those looking to party. It's also home to the Underwater Museum of Art Musa, where you can snorkel or dive amidst over 500 submerged sculptures, creating a unique artificial reef. It's a surreal, beautiful experience. Best time to visit for perfect beach weather is December to April, avoiding hurricane season, June-October, and peak spring break crowds in March. Cabo San Lucas, where desert meets sea. On the Baja California Peninsula, Cabo offers a dramatic contrast. Here, the rugged desert landscape tumbles directly into the sparkling Pacific Ocean and the Sea of Cortez. It's a playground for the affluent, famous for its luxurious yachts docked in the marina, celebrity sightings, and some of the world's best sport fishing. But the real showstopper? Whale watching. From December to April, thousands of majestic whales migrate to these warm waters to Cave, offering incredible opportunities to witness these gentle giants up close. San Miguel de Allende, colonial charm and artistic soul. If you're a history buff, an art lover, or just someone who appreciates undeniable beauty, this UNESCO World Heritage City in Mexico's Central Highlands is a dream. Its well-preserved colonial architecture, vibrant colored buildings, and charming cobblestone streets create an atmosphere straight out of a postcard. It's long been an artist paradise, attracting creatives from around the globe, evident in its numerous galleries, workshops, and lively cultural scene. Walking through its narrow lanes, discovering hidden courtyards and rooftop terraces, is an experience you won't forget. Copper Canyon, grandeur beyond imagination. For the adventurous soul, prepare to be humbled. Mexico's Copper Canyon, Barrancas del Cabra, isn't just big, it's a network of 6 massive canyons that are collectively bigger and deeper than the Grand Canyon in the US. We're talking 4 times the area. The best way to experience its breathtaking scale is by riding El Cheap, Chihuahua al Pacifico, one of the world's most spectacular train journeys. This engineering marvel winds through incredible wilderness, crosses dramatic bridges, passes through tunnels, and offers views of stunning waterfalls and ancient indigenous communities like the Raramuri, Tarahumara. It's an epic adventure into Mexico's rugged heartland. The real-world consequence of these diverse attractions is massive. Tourism is a vital part of Mexico's economy, creating jobs and supporting local communities, though it also presents challenges in terms of environmental impact and ensuring sustainable development. From the Pacific to the Caribbean, from colonial splendor to untamed wilderness, Mexico truly has it all. It shows a side of the country that is rich, diverse, and incredibly welcoming. Which of these destinations is now at the top of your travel list? Have you visited any of them, and what was your experience like? Drop your travel dreams and stories in the comments below. Let's inspire each other's next adventure. Number 13, Mexican food. It's not just tacos. You hungry? Because after this, you will be. We've taken an incredible journey through Mexico's breathtaking landscapes, its ancient wonders, and its fascinating history. But let's be real, for many of us, the first thing that comes to mind when we think of Mexico is its incredible world-renowned food. And for good reason. Mexican cuisine is a UNESCO intangible cultural heritage, a testament to its deep roots, complex flavors, and cultural significance. But here's the thing, and it's a common misconception, it's so much more than just tacos and burritos, especially the versions you might find outside of Mexico. I remember my first time trying authentic Mexican food. I thought I knew Mexican food, I'd had my fair share of fast food burritos and crunchy shell tacos. But then I went to a small, unassuming taqueria in a bustling market in Mexico City. The scent of sizzling meat, fresh cilantro, and warm tortillas filled the air. I ordered a pastor taco, and when it arrived piping hot, simple yet bursting with flavor, it was a revelation. It tasted nothing like what I was used to. It was then I realized how much I had yet to discover about this incredible cuisine. Here's the hard fact that every food lover needs to know. Mexican cuisine is incredibly diverse, regional, and steeped in thousands of years of history, blending indigenous ingredients and techniques with Spanish influences. It's a culinary tapestry. Let's dig into some of the staples that showcase this rich heritage. Tacos, the unrivaled king. Yes, tacos are a global phenomenon, and for good reason. From humble street stalls where tortillas are pressed fresh, sizzling meats are carved directly from a vertical rotisserie, like tacos al pastor, and toppings are simple but potent, onion, cilantro, salsa, to gourmet plates in high-end restaurants showcasing innovative fillings, tacos truly rule. But the key is the tortilla, soft, warm, and freshly made, often from masa, corn dough, creating the perfect vehicle for endless fillings. Each region has its own specialty, from cochinita pibil in Yucatan to carne asada in the north. Tamales, ancient roots in a steamed pocket. Before tacos, there were tamales. These incredible steamed corn dough pockets, often filled with savory meats, cheese, vegetables, or sweet fruits, and wrapped in corn husks or banana leaves, have ancient roots dating back thousands of years to Mesoamerican civilizations like the Olmecs and Maya. They were portable, nutritious, and essential for travelers and warriors. Making tamales is often a communal celebratory event, especially during holidays, a true labor of love. Guacamole, from Aztec origins to global superstar. Everyone loves guacamole, right? That creamy, flavorful dip made from mashed avocados, onion, cilantro, and lime. But did you know its origins are firmly Aztec? They called it aguacamole, meaning avocado sauce. It was a staple long before it became the global dip superstar it is today. The simplicity of its ingredients belies the depth of its flavor and its ancient heritage. Burritos, simpler than you think, in Mexico. If you're used to the massive, overstuffed burritos from chain restaurants in the US or other parts of the world, prepare for a surprise in Mexico. Mexican burritos are often much simpler, smaller, and more focused, typically filled with just 1 or 2 ingredients like meat, beans, or cheese, often with a thin smear of salsa, wrapped tightly in a flour tortilla. They're no less tasty, but they're less of a meal in a wrap, and more of a quick, delicious handheld snack. It's a subtle but significant real-world consequence of regional culinary evolution. The impact of Mexican food on global cuisine is immense, influencing flavors and techniques far beyond its borders. It's a cuisine that champions fresh ingredients, bold flavors, and a profound respect for tradition. What's your favorite authentic Mexican dish that goes beyond the typical taco or burrito? Or what's a Mexican food experience you've had that surprised you? Drop your culinary cravings and stories in the comments below. Let's share the flavors of Mexico. And if your taste buds are tingling as much as mine are, smash that like button. Number 14. Festivals you'll never forget. Alright, party people and culture vultures. It's time to talk about something that truly makes Mexico's spirit shine, its utterly unforgettable festivals. If you've ever dreamt of being swept up in a whirlwind of color, music, and unbridled joy, Mexico's festival scene is where it's at. These aren't just events, they're profound cultural experiences that immerse you in the heart and soul of the nation. I remember talking to my friend, Elena, who spent a semester studying in Mexico. She recounted her experience of Dia de los Muertos, expecting something somber and spooky, like Halloween. Instead, she found herself surrounded by vibrant marigolds, sweet pan de muerto, elaborate ofrendas, altars, adorned with photos of loved ones, and people with beautifully painted skull faces, laughing and sharing stories. It wasn't scary at all, she told me, tears welling up. It was beautiful. A celebration of life, of memory, and of connection to those who have passed on. It felt so real, so full of love. Her story completely changed my perception of this incredible tradition. Here's the hard fact that encapsulates Mexico's festive spirit. Mexican festivals are a vibrant fusion of indigenous traditions, Catholic faith, and a deep-seated love for community and celebration. They are often multi-day events that draw millions, both locals and tourists, and have a significant economic impact, boosting local economies through tourism, trade, and cultural exchange, though sometimes presenting challenges for local daily life, as some academic research suggests. Let's dive into some of Mexico's most captivating celebrations. Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead, a vibrant fusion of life and death. Celebrated primarily on November 1st and 2nd, this isn't just a holiday, it's a profound philosophy. While it coincides with All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day, its roots are deep in indigenous traditions that predate the Spanish conquest. Families create intricate ofrendas, altars, adorned with photos, marigold flowers, Popocatépetl, candles, the deceased's favorite foods and drinks, and sugar skulls, calaveras. The belief is that on these days, the veil between worlds thins, and spirits return to visit their loved ones. It's a joyous remembrance, a lively reunion where grief transforms into celebration and connection. It's been recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Carnival de Veracruz, Mexico's loudest, wildest street party. If you want to experience pure, unadulterated festivity, head to Veracruz. Held annually in the days leading up to Ash Wednesday, typically in late February or early March, this is widely considered Mexico's biggest and happiest carnival. It kicks off with the burning of bad humor, quema del mal humor, and culminates in days of parades with flamboyant floats, rhythmic dances, live music, especially the lively San Giracho, street parties, and people dressed in vibrant costumes. It's a week of non-stop revelry that takes over the entire city and port. Fiesta de la Virgen de Guadalupe, devotion, fireworks, and Aztec Christian fusion. On December 12th each year, Mexico celebrates its patron saint, Our Lady of Guadalupe. This deeply spiritual holiday commemorates the belief that the Virgin Mary appeared to an indigenous peasant, Juan Diego, in 1531, on Tepeyac Hill outside Mexico City. Millions of pilgrims from all over Mexico make a journey to the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City, where the miraculous image is kept. The celebrations are a breathtaking blend of Catholic devotion with indigenous elements, featuring traditional dances, processions, fervent prayers, fireworks, and vibrant street celebrations. It truly embodies the unique spiritual identity of Mexico. Feria Nacional de San Marcos, 21 days of full-on celebration. Held in Aguascalientes, usually from mid-April to early May, this is arguably the largest and most important fair in Mexico, sometimes lasting for up to 23 days. It's an explosion of culture, entertainment, and commerce. While traditionally known for its bullfights, which can be a controversial but historically significant part of the fair, it also boasts massive concerts with international artists, vibrant wine fairs, agricultural and livestock exhibitions, thrilling carnival rides, delicious food stalls, and general merriment that draws millions of visitors. It's a spectacle of Mexican life and tradition. These festivals are more than just events. They are the living, breathing pulse of Mexico, showcasing its resilience, its deep historical roots, and its boundless capacity for joy. They offer a unique window into the soul of the nation and its people. Which of these festivals would you most want to experience, and why? What elements of these celebrations resonate with you the most? Share your thoughts and dreams in the comments below. Let's keep this vibrant discussion alive. Number 15, living in Mexico, paradise on a budget. Now let's talk about something many of you might be actively dreaming about, actually living in Mexico. Imagine trading long commutes and high living costs for sun-drenched days, vibrant culture, delicious food, and a pace of life that allows you to actually enjoy it, all without breaking the bank. Sounds like a fantasy, right? Well, for many, Mexico is making that dream a very affordable reality. I've had so many conversations with friends and acquaintances who are burnt out by the relentless grind of their home countries. They talk about high rents, stagnant wages, and the feeling of never quite getting ahead. I remember my friend, David, who was a freelance graphic designer. He was barely making ends meet in a major US city, constantly stressed about rent and bills. He took a leap, moved to a smaller city in Mexico, and now, not only is his stress level dramatically lower, but he's actually saving money and pursuing his passion projects. He always jokes, "Why was I punishing myself for so long?" Here's the hard fact that's drawing millions of people. Mexico offers one of the best values for living on Earth, especially for those seeking a high quality of life without the exorbitant costs found in many developed nations. It's a growing trend, with significant expat communities thriving in places like San Miguel de Allende, Puerto Vallarta, Mérida, and Playa del Carmen. Let's break down the numbers, keeping in mind that these are general averages and costs can vary widely depending on the city and your lifestyle. Temporary residency. This is often the first step for those looking to stay long-term. As of 2024/2025, to qualify for temporary residency at a Mexican consulate abroad, you typically need to demonstrate a monthly income of around $104,350 or have savings/investments of approximately $75,000. While the numbers can fluctuate based on the exchange rate and specific consulate, this proves Mexico is looking for financially stable individuals who can support themselves. Monthly budget. For a comfortable lifestyle, covering rent, food, utilities, and transport, many expats report spending in the range of $1,500 to $1,900 USD per month. Some sources even indicate that an individual could live comfortably on closer to $982 USD per month in more affordable cities, with Mexico City averaging around $1,288 USD per month for an individual, excluding rent. This is significantly lower than many North American or European cities. Rent. This is often the biggest cost anywhere, but in Mexico, it's remarkably affordable. You can find beautiful furnished apartments in desirable areas for as low as $550 to $850 USD per month for a one-bedroom, though prices in major expat hubs like Mexico City or coastal areas can be higher. A one-bedroom in Mexico City center averages around $1,080 USD per month. Outside the city center, prices drop even further. Transport. Getting around is incredibly cheap. Monthly costs for Uber and public transport, like buses and subways, can be as low as $70 USD per month, even less if you rely heavily on public transport in major cities. A single local transport ticket in Mexico City is often just around 6 pesos, approximate $0.35. Healthcare and services. This is where Mexico truly shines for affordability. Dental work, gym memberships, and even hiring household help like cleaners can be 50 to 70% cheaper than in the US. For instance, a normal delivery in a Mexican hospital can cost around $600 USD, compared to over $11,000 USD in the US. Private health insurance for expats can also be significantly more affordable, often ranging from $400 to $1,700 USD per year depending on age and coverage. The real-world consequences of this influx of expats are complex. While it brings significant foreign investment and boosts local economies, it also, in some popular areas, leads to rising rents and gentrification, impacting local residents. This is a challenge many popular expat destinations are grappling with. However, the overall benefit of a more relaxed pace of life, access to fresh food, vibrant culture, and a supportive expat community continues to draw people in. So why indeed break the bank in the States, or Canada, or Europe, when Mexico offers sun, a rich culture, incredible food, and a genuinely good life at a fraction of the price? What are your thoughts on this? Does the idea of living in Mexico appeal to you? What challenges do you think you might face, and what excites you the most about the prospect? Share your opinions and questions in the comments below. Let's discuss the realities and dreams of expat life. So, what do you think now? Is Mexico the misunderstood neighbor next door, or a vibrant, sleeping giant of history, culture, and undeniable potential? Whether you're into hidden pyramids, groundbreaking politics, or just want to taste some truly ancient spicy chocolate, Mexico might just be the most fascinating country you thought you already knew. Comment below what fact or story shocked you the most. And if the thought of living under the Mexican sun is now seriously tempting you, don't just dream it, start planning. Hit that like button, share this video with fellow adventurers, and subscribe to follow us on our next wild global adventure. Vámonos! This information is for reference only. Please make sure to do your research before making your decision.